It's not been a normal morning across Russia, that is for sure. Have a look at this. And people in the Urals region are having basically seen burning objects raining down from the sky after a meteorite exploded above the Earth, causing a meteor shower. Let's join RT's Irina Galushko now to talk more about this, because ultimately I had a pretty terrifying morning, and I'm not even in that part of Russia, the biggest country in the world, and yet we have what is essentially a startling display in the morning skies.
Absolutely. Oh, that's the map behind me. Basically what happened is there was an asteroid which entered the atmosphere and then broke into several pieces, thereby turning into a meteorite. Happened around 9 o'clock in the morning, so all these people that were driving, you can see it right behind me. Imagine me driving to work, and then all of a sudden you see this absolutely tremendous
It's war
flash.
of the worlds, we're under attack.
Absolutely. Actually, that's what a lot of people thought.
We're not under attack. It looked like it though, didn't it?
It did. I'll get to that in a second, but let's get just down to some figures at this point. We know that the blast, the explosion, because obviously when it enters the atmosphere, it breaks apart. There's an explosion, yes. Apparently, the windows have been shattered and doors were flying out, and all in all 300 buildings have sustained some sort of damage. 300 buildings, yes. 514 people have said that they need medical assistance. Among them 84 of them kids, and at least 9 are in critical condition.
Well, how are so many people being injured? Because was it the meteorite that injured them?
No, not always. No. It was mostly, imagine, first of all, the impact was such, you've heard the noise. The impact was such that, like I said, the windows were flying out and the glass was shattering, so a lot of people who were cut by the shards of the glass. But we also know of one woman, a postal worker, who actually had to be hospitalized because she had a heart attack. Yeah. Oh,
that's unfortunate.
That's pretty bad.
Now, what about, I mean, how did we get this startling footage? Because basically, when I was coming into work, I was getting a call from the newsroom saying we've got loads and loads of footage coming in, but how did we get it?
Well, this is the 21st century. Welcome.
Thanks, Irina.
And a lot of people actually have this, they have like video registrators or whatever you call them, video capture things that they put in their cars just in case something happens. But I think most of the time that is just that's my opinion. I think they put them there just in case something unique like this happens.
Hence all this stunning footage.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is a security camera from an office, and again, I'm standing in the midst of it.
That girl hit the deck.
Yeah, it actually does look like an explosion. That's what happens, and that's how people actually got injured. That's where
it's no surprise, and in the early hours in the morning, that people think you're under attack when you see the streaks across the sky and you hear these sonic booms or the fracturing of this heavenly body. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, really.
Well, not really a lot of things are heavenly about it, except for maybe the appearance. We do know that schools and kindergartens are staying closed for today. And in fact, the Minister of Emergencies not only put to 20,000 of their personnel on high alert, but they also have advised people to stay inside, not go anywhere. And
but Irina, the thing is, though, it's not over yet. because in a few hours, whatever's behind this asteroid is coming next. Am I right?
Well, there has been speculation this is sort of a teaser, sort of a harbinger of the larger asteroid.
Oh, that's nice. An early harbinger of doom sent ahead. I mean, so the baby meteorite is sent ahead. The parents are coming next. I mean, do we know anything about the size or the timing of what's to come next? Because it's happening today.
Did we know anything about this one? No. This is kind of a little surprise. Well, I mean, if in all seriousness, however, the scientists did say that we're expecting a rather large meteor, asteroid 2012 DA14, yes, a great name, which is supposed to be passing next to Earth at a record-breaking distance. So it's actually close, but a lot of people are actually saying that what we saw this morning in Chelyabinsk is actually a part of it. That's just, you know, one of the asteroids or little meteors that are following in it, and we shouldn't really bracing ourselves for an impact and calling Bruce Willis.
Calling Bruce Willis. I'm sure his phone's been going off the hook for quite some time now.
He's changed his number.
But we have plenty of asteroid and comet stories throughout 2013. We've got one comet ISON that is coming in a few months. It'll be visible from the days of summer all the way to the days of winter. It'll be the brightest thing in the night sky apart from the moon. So mid 2013 to the end of 2013, you can see it with your naked eye. It's going to be soaring across the sky for a few months. That's going to be incredible. And then in 2029, we've got Apophis. Now this thing is big. And
how big are we talking?
You know, it's big enough to cause major damage if it were to impact. Now, what they're saying about Apophis is that it's going to pass so close to Earth that it's going to skim across the atmosphere, knock out a bunch of satellites like a bowling ball.
So basically, this is something that happened in 1908. Remember the Tunguska event?
That was the big one. Was it?
That was
Siberia, Urals?
That was Siberia. That was a little bit in a different direction from where this happened. It was a lot further. But speaking of Chelyabinsk region, I think it's important to mention that this was actually a hub for nuclear research, and one of the biggest nuclear storage facilities in the country, called Mayak, is actually in the vicinity of Chelyabinsk. And the first thing that a lot of people, I think, went looking for is whether or not that was damaged. And lucky for us, it wasn't, because otherwise.
But the thing is, though, people then you also have your conspiracy theories that when you have nuclear facilities, then you always see you see UFOs or floating orbs or little green men, for goodness sake. But going back to what you're saying about the Tunguska event, 1908 in Siberia, it wiped out 2,000 square miles of forest, and there are many, many documentaries about it all over YouTube and on RT as well, where according to investigators, the meteorite, if indeed it was a meteorite, at Tunguska, as it came towards the ground, it actually exploded before touching the ground. It was an aerial explosion.
And that is why they could never find the crater or the actual remnants.
Exactly.
Speaking of remnants, they do say that they have found 3 fragments of this particular asteroid, or I'm sorry, meteorite. And they also, but this is an unconfirmed report, they say that they have found 1 crater at least 6 meters in diameter. So that's pretty big.
Yeah.
But again, the impact, you have to understand that that's where it's coming from. But again, the report about the crater is unconfirmed, but they have found 3 fragments. So it would be interesting to see, to analyze it and see what exactly those things are made out of.
Yeah, absolutely
so that would
right.
That's one thing that we should be, I guess, looking out for.
Well, I was just going to say, this comet that's coming up mid to late 2013 that we're all going to be able to watch for months in the sky, this comet ISON, apparently is coming from the ISON Nebula, which basically spits out an interstellar highway of debris that is now going to be spilling into... we do need a map.
We need a map of the sky.
And we need more time to talk about this, I think, as well.
Absolutely.
But whatever the case, we're still taking in footage here at RT. So if indeed you have any footage you can share with us, you can just get in contact with us at rt.com.